Hey everybody, welcome back to Wolf Ranch Repairs. Sorry for the long delay. We've been going through some stuff here. Illness, death, vacations. But we're back now, continuing to work on this old TV. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the first video. We're going to continue on. I'm going to be sanding the tops today. A little bit on the sides, but I did buy some veneers. Had them cut to fit the side panels. We'll apply those. Would like everyone to leave a comment. Couple of suggestions for this. What color do you think we should do it? 3 options: mahogany, cherry, or walnut. And then the second one, we've got this over here. This is the guts of it. The picture tube, still got to test that. Not sure if it's going to work or not. And even if it does work, I'm not sure that it's ever going to function because there's no antenna. We can't get a signal for this particular TV. So the other option would be to buy a small flat screen and mount it to the inside so that the TV is functional. Everybody give me a comment. Let me know if you'd like to keep it as much original as possible, even if it's just decorative, or if you'd like to see it as a functional TV. All right, so here we go. I'm going to start with sanding the top. Probably sanding the sides a little bit just to get a little smoother finish or smoother edge, better contact for the glue when I put the veneers on. So here we go. Now this thing's been sitting for who knows how long. So not sure if anybody had ever intended on doing this as a project. Try to stay going with the grain of the wood when you sand. That way you're not creating scratches when you put a finish or stain on it. A few rough spots here and there where maybe something got stuck to it. You'll see me focus on certain areas a little more than others. That's where it seems like there's some kind of adhesive or something still on the wood. Try to get this down to where it's a nice even surface for when I put the stain on. All right, if you come over here, kind of see, probably should have showed what it looked like before, but it had some blotching, some white residue on it. You can see all that's gone now. Actually, it's in pretty good shape. Got a couple of spots here. I do have some wood putty. I'll fill that in. So now I'm going to go hit the sides real quick. The sides won't take as long. Like I said, it's more just to rough it up so that the veneers get a nice connection or adhesion to it. The front's going to be a little bit trickier to sand down because you do have some areas where I'll have to just hand sand it, get it as close as I can. Some of this stuff will have to stay a little bit rough, but other than that, I think the top looks great. I'm going to go on this side to start with. And what I can do is I can turn this so everybody can kind of see what I'm talking about. You can see it's raw wood. It's pretty rough. When I put the veneers on, it'll look a lot more like the top. So here we go. Again, like I said, I'm just trying to get a little bit of a rough texture to it. That's pretty much all I want to do with the sides. You can see down here, it's the wood's cracking, it's damaged. A lot of that's what the veneers are for. They're going to cover a lot of this damage up, give it a nice, smooth, clean side. It looks like it had veneers on it before. Not sure what happened to them. But like I said, this was found in a storage unit, so now making the best of it. All right, so now we'll flip this around. I'll do the other side real quick, then we'll get a cloth. We're going to wipe all the sawdust, excess sawdust off, so we have a nice clean surface to work with, and then we'll look at applying the veneers to the sides. You see this one again, got some damage down to the bottom, but overall it's not in bad shape for, you know, it's what, 75 years old. So it's going to have a few bumps and bruises. All right. Whew. A little dusty, a little dusty. All right. So with the front, my main focus is going to be sanding this part down. I'll hand sand these things. This is a plastic here, and that's obviously the speaker mesh. So a lot of this will be, I'll probably hit this with my sander, and then a lot of the little stuff I'll do with a piece of sandpaper and just go over by hand. So, anybody tell you it's not hot in Arizona, they're lying. Not sure about the dry heat comment either. It's pretty humid right now. Anyway, here we go. Got to be a little bit careful with this because, like I said, I don't want to erase this General Electric. I don't want to chip off any more of the wood than what's already chipped off. But I do want to get it to a point where it'll take the stain and it'll look uniform. So getting all this old, and you can see this here is probably the color it was originally, that nice deep red color, and you can see what color it's darkened to. We're going to try and get all that off so that when I stain it, it gets that nice uniform look. And then obviously we'll put a clear coat on, make it nice and shiny. And again, you know, this is just one way of doing this. There are going to be other ways to do it, I'm sure. This is just the particular way I'm doing it. I'll hit this side up. You can see this old stain actually comes off fairly easy. It's the stuff that was underneath the housing, the metal housing. It's pretty much been untouched for 75 years. It's a little bit harder to get off. That's just because it still has all the veneers and all the epoxy and clear coat on it. Woo. All right, let me see the sides. Whew. So, it's coming along pretty nice. Got most of the front already sanded down, top sanded, sides are done. We just got to add the veneers to the sides, clean it up a little bit more. The rest of this I'll probably have to do mostly by hand. So yeah, I probably need to get a shop vac at some point, I think. I have to get the okay from the warden on that though. Whew. All right. So let me finish sanding this up, and then I gotta sand this bottom piece. We'll just clean this piece up, see how it looks. My wife was mentioning that maybe leave some of it a little bit more original. If that'll clean up nice, I don't really have to do anything to it. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll just put a new clear coat on it. But let's finish sanding this up, and then we'll go to the side panels. Let me see that rag bit. Boom. Just like magic. I'll get some of that excess sawdust wiped off so I can see exactly what I'm doing down there. You can see there's still just a couple of spots that need to be hit, and then we'll move on to that bottom panel down there. All right, I think that looks pretty good. Now I'm gonna lay this flat so that I'm not crunching on the ground to do this side panel or this front panel. You can see I'm gonna have to do some work there. Probably put some new feet on this thing too, so it doesn't keep doing that. Whee! Whee! All right. I'll switch sanding discs and I'll finish this up. Ooh. All right. All right, back to it. All right. What's that?
I don't think that is.
No, it's the cherry wood. It's part of the. I don't think that's stained. I had a few friends living in this thing. Let's see. I need to put a nail here, a nail there. I need to put some glue up in there.
No, you do that now. Or you do the sides.
Well, I need to. This bottom is in rougher shape than we originally thought. So I'm gonna try and do some work on this now. Let me get always keep a big piece of cardboard handy for any project so you don't get stuff all over your garage floor. This I'm going to use so I don't really mess up the top of this cabinet while I'm working on this bottom piece. All right. Got some finishing nails, which I'm going to use to reconnect this to the edges. We'll just ignore that. Nails going everywhere. Whew. It is hot, hot, hot. All right. I think.
Just putting it there. One didn't really go in straight anyway. Yeah, it's really, I'm just trying to get it to hold a little bit. I think we need some glue. Wood glue.
Yeah, this stuff is just rotted. Well, this is going to get glued here.
in there. Glue it on both sides. And then I'll actually use my old clamps for that. Now I'm going to squeeze some wood glue in there, and then I'll use my C-clamps. Got to do one side at a time. Unfortunately, it's going to slow down the process a little bit, but I want to do it, make sure that we get it done the right way. Interesting. There we go. All right. It's good. It's good. It's good. Can everybody hear me better? I got a new mic. There are a few comments in previous videos that couldn't hear what I was saying, or it wasn't coming in very clearly. So we went and got a mic. Hopefully it'll leave some of that. Oh, now. Gotta get that glue down deep. Oh, look it, my hands are shaking already. Try to get as much glue down into that gap as I can. I don't have enough clamps. What I can do though, I'm not too worried about how many, because this will all be covered anyway. I'll put one more here. Alright.
I think we might want to put some, like, so you can get an angle into that wood. So this way these openings, see, they're still shaky.
Excuse me. Let's see what I got. What I could do. Have any small, short?
We have staples.
No, but I'm looking for a small wood screw that I can pre-drill a hole maybe, and then screw it in at an angle. That's not what I'm looking for. Okay, so we're gonna try and take a couple of screws as I drop one of them. It's okay, and put them in the corner of this back brace into this side piece here. I am going to drill a pilot hole first so that it doesn't, hopefully it doesn't split the wood. The pilot hole will be smaller than the screw itself, obviously. All right. Okay. Now, hopefully that will go right in there. Grab just a regular screwdriver. See if this will go in without too much hassle.
Does that help?
A little bit. The screw's not long enough though.
Still moves?
No, it's fine. But if we're gonna put the new feet on these outer pieces, because I really want it to stay off of this. I don't know why you would put that on here. It just... All right, one's in. Whew. All right, I guess that's gonna stay like that.
Screws right there.
Where's the screwdriver?
In your hand.
That didn't catch.
It didn't catch the side.
Good enough. Good enough. Alright.
That way when he moves it, it doesn't get all shaky. Like this one. See how unattached it is to that side corner?
Yeah, it's gotta be.
It's gotta be right there.
So this side will be done. Wouldn't mind still getting like an L bracket. Something to hold it further in place. This will have to sit for a little bit, which means unfortunately can't do anything else. Sanding's all done. We'll have to take care of this side next time, and then probably put the veneers on next time. So thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed today's episode. We will be filming more often than we have, just because things are getting back to normal now. So please stay tuned, watch the videos, like the videos, dislike the videos, leave comments, share, subscribe, click the notification bell so that every time I do post a video, you're alerted to it. You know, I'm hoping this will brighten somebody's day, you know, somebody enjoys the videos. That's what I want. And, you know, if you learn something from them, that's an added bonus. Like I said, there's more than one way to do this. This is just the one particular way. That's the way I'm doing it. You know, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Take care. Bye.